Hello, I am here today to talk to you about operating expectations 3 and 9. So the communications team, we are thrilled to be able to bring forward some of the work that we have been working towards in order to show that we've made progress towards these operating expectations. Our first is operating expectation 3, which is treatment of careholders. And so that talks about the superintendent building a culture that serves our careholders and building relationships ultimately with outcomes for students. And so we have 13 measures within that, and we are saying that all are compliant. And we also believe that the results do show that the district's culture continues to serve our careholders and builds and fosters relationships that promote outcomes. And we also believe that the results demonstrate that the district provides an effective way to handle complaints and then also take seriously our confidential information. So you'll see those throughout our 13 measures. Just high level overview, we provide a variety of ways that careholders can share their thoughts and ideas about the district. And so thinking about ways they can engage, there's the Parent Leadership Council that we have people involved in, the We Are Listening button on the website that anytime someone can submit a comment, the annual meeting people can come to. Our Department of Systemic Equity Inclusion has a cabinet that we get feedback from. And then the Booster Club committee meetings are just a few processes that our careholders have had input in, and they're on, a place where they can share ideas. So that's one. And then the other is providing a variety of ways that careholders can engage with and learn more about the strategic direction of the district. So thinking about social media and coffee with the superintendent events. We have school newsletters, the annual report that goes out to everyone, and then we have several newsletters. So we are definitely putting information in front of our careholders. And then our district does have a process for resolving complaints in a timely manner, and different process for the different types of complaints and who's involved. But looking at all of it, we feel as though, or looking at the data, that we can tell that all of the complaints have been handled through the correct processes, and so we're happy about that. So just some areas of continuous improvement that we are thinking about for our next year is through our scorecards. We did cascade these practice profiles that we created for our departments. And basically that is a way for them to ensure that their work includes other voices in the process. And then also it puts communication as a priority for them, not thinking about the communication department, the only place to communicate, that all departments, as they're doing something new or they have an initiative, how can they work other voices into their process? So that's something that we'll continue to work towards as we move into the next year. Also through the scorecard, we have cascaded an expectation to our school sites. We're asking them to create a family engagement plan each year in conjunction with their families. So thinking about how they fold them into the work, and really looking at the way that our families at schools can be more involved, and also in a way that doesn't always include fundraising, that there's other ways to engage. And then also just through the work of the 3-year communication plan, we're within year 1 of that plan. We'll continue to seek ways to build relationships and involve our careholders, ensuring that our non-dominant voices are included and heard. So thinking about ways we can continue to get feedback and fold people into our processes. So the next one is OE9, which is communicating with the public. And this is really the 2 bullets that you see here are really ways that we provide, where our public can provide input to us, two-way communication about the district. And then the other one is how we prepare and make publicly available district's progress. And so thinking about what that looks like, and what we put out for people to see, and how they can engage with that information. And so the first measure is the school district communicates and provides opportunities for the public to provide appropriate input. So thinking about, we sort of talked about in OE3 a little bit, but lots of different ways that people can engage with us and give feedback. Annual meeting, the budget hearing, the PLCs that they can go to, the We're Listening, all of our referendum info sessions and road shows last year. We used some new things as we created a realtors. We bring the realtors in every year and do an info event with them. And then we created a web page where they can go and find information just sort of geared towards them. We also did communication surveys this year to get a baseline, just to see at the school site how pleased are families with the communication they get from their school. So just looking for ways that we can continue to do this. Also thinking about the grand openings and all the information that was put in front of the public this year, and ways that they could engage. And then the second one was measure 2 is us communicating strategically and timely, so that we can build understanding and support for the district. And so this is a really long list of some really great communication that has been put out to our community and our families. And so everything from the annual report to the printed district calendar, to the referendum mailers and our social media and all the newsletters and all the school communication, and that school site playbook that we talked about. We're working towards consistency on communication across school sites, but the view book and the peach jar flyers and enrollment postcards. So lots of different ways that people hear from the district in a variety of ways, from print to online to everything in between. So the summary of this is really there's 2 measures, and we're saying both are compliant. We feel that the results show that our communication plan does guide us and help us work towards effective communication. We also note that the superintendent makes information publicly available through operating and monitoring reports at board meetings. And so also thinking about how we're financially transparent, from the district website to the annual meetings and the budget meetings that we put forth for people, and we video so they can watch if they're not able to be a part of it. Also, the district does offer a variety of opportunities for the public to provide input. We'll continue to look for ways that they can give input, and also thinking about who's giving us the input, whose voice are we hearing and whose are we not. So thinking about those. And then also the district has a variety of communication tools. We're very strategic about it. But thinking about some things that have worked this last year is the addition of, Nextdoor and, our referendum updates and all the road shows we did, and, press releases and our annual report and all the things we listed before. So we feel like we communicate pretty well with the community. So some areas of improvement for us would be, this was on last year, and I'm going to continue to put it forth here, but thinking about the ways that we can engage non-parents and those that do not have a natural connection to the schools. I think I've mentioned before that we have about 60% of our community that does not have a student in our district anymore. Either their students have aged out or they've not had kids in our district before. And so how do we continue to be in front of them to show return on investment, their tax money, and also just ways that they can engage with the school district and really be informed about the great things that are happening here. So that's on there. Thinking about our equity practices, just some of them are including translation of all of our materials into Spanish. We do that somewhat, and that's something we are definitely going to be working towards, making sure if you see something from us in English, that it also is available in Spanish, sort of side by side. Also making documents and our website more accessible. That's something that's top of mind for us. So, and we feel like we're doing a good job of that, but we need to train our school sites and others who use the website to do a better job with that. And then also identifying engagement opportunities so we can continue to build community. We can help our community understand and build affinity towards our school district. So that's something we'll be having our eye on. And then just continuing to add to the school site communication playbook. We're in the first year of it. Once we get get to the end of this school year, we'll be asking principals like what worked, what didn't. And also I round with all the principals, so I have sort of a pulse on what's working, but would love to add to that piece so that it's even more meaningful next year. So those are the things that we're working on and feel are keeping us in compliance with OE3 and OE9. And Adam and I and Joe just want to, bring forth that this past year, our district has won several awards in a variety of categories, both at the national level and at the state level. And we're very excited about that we're able to put materials in front of our community that are high quality. And then also what's good about that is that it helps us keep our pulse on what's being put out nationally and in the state to see if we can pick up any great ideas and learn from others. So happy to bring these two operating expectations to you, and I look forward to seeing you at the board meeting on Monday night. Thank you.